Hello, and welcome back to the Nothing But Net podcast, the podcast for commercial triple net real estate investing. I'm your host, Adam Carswell, joined as always by our co-host, Michael Flight, and we have another, as always, special treat for you here today. And today we're going to be talking about something a little bit different from net lease real estate, but in a way tied to it, and that is the Blockchain Real Estate Summit right around the corner. I guess you could call it a promotional episode, if you will, but a lot of cool things coming your way here today. So, Michael, happy to have you here. No guests, just you and I. I guess we'll kind of be interviewing you here today to get the details, but happy to have you here. And any opening remarks for our audience?
Well, I'd like to say, even if you came for the net lease properties, this is going to be probably an evergreen episode, just to talk about how things are moving, where we're going to be going as a financial system, and where they're going to put, real estate at eventually. And we believe, especially Adam keeps dragging me kicking and screaming into the blockchain world, that everything in the financial world is actually going to be put on a blockchain and be tradable. And so when we saw this earlier, like around 2017, 2018, we said, this is going to be the future. How do we actually get real estate onto the blockchain? How do we get real estate to be trade similar to cryptocurrencies? And how do we get access to that $280 trillion of built-in value that's just sitting out there, that's locked in? How do we get access so that people can not only generate wealth and own real estate, but also can unlock their wealth so that other people can invest in that real estate?
Absolutely. And it's been a pretty cool experience to be putting this conference together with you because, as you mentioned, there's a lot of information out there in regards to the topic of real estate and blockchain and where they overlap. More and more people are warming up to the idea. But as far as we've seen, no one's really doing what we're doing right now, which is putting together the first actual conference focused on the two asset classes, really the blockchain sector and then the real estate side of things. So I guess, when was the epiphany moment for you that we should do something like this? Because I know it wasn't my idea, but it's a great one.
Well, the epiphany moment was that we launched a fund called Liberty Real Estate Fund, which is a net lease property fund. It's the world's first net lease security token fund. And we were getting some great reception to it, a lot of excitement about it and everything. But people were hesitant because they're like, well, I'm not sure what this is. Is this cryptocurrency? Is this, real estate investment? And we decided that there needed not only to be more education so that investors know about this technology, especially real estate investors, because real estate investors don't necessarily overlap with crypto investors. And the other thing is, when I started looking into doing the actual security token offering, I realized that most of the people in the space were technology people, and you need the technology people to create the technology, but they don't know anything about real estate. And so what we're really trying to do is to educate real estate professionals on what this technology is going to do for real estate, how it's going to make it more tradable, how it's going to make it more accessible, and how it's going to streamline their operations. So what we decided to do was put together this event, which would, if somebody attended the event, are going to kind of get a rundown of all the moving pieces so that they could go back and say, I need to do a little bit more research on this, but here's everything I need if I want to start, to down the path of issuing my, properties onto the blockchain, or, what I can do with this.
Yeah, and I think one thing that I know I'm looking forward to a lot with this conference is the networking component. Again, being the first of its kind, there's going to be a lot of pioneers in the space at the event, as well as significant, I'd say, influencers in the real estate sector that you've been able to recruit and show up here. So I guess give our viewers and listeners a little bit of a taste of what it's going to be like from a networking perspective.
Well, there's going to be not only people that are actually in the security space, but there's going to be people that are in the regulatory space. There's going to be attorneys there. that actually know how to do securities and make sure that securities are compliant with, blockchain and how you need to put them into smart contracts. There's going to be a bunch of different actual people either actually issuing projects onto the blockchain or in the process of doing it or going through the initial due diligence. So we're going to have a nice range of people to say, hey, I'm here and this is what we're looking at and this is what we want to do, to I'm here, this is our coin. And so the one of the cool things is that the keynote speaker is Stefan de Bates, and he is president of Elevated Returns. He issued the first security token in the United States onto the blockchain. It's called Aspen Coin. It's a Ritz-Carlton hotel in Aspen, Colorado. Not only did he raise all the money that he needed to issue that token successfully, but then he went on in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of when nobody is traveling, in the middle when nobody's using a hotel. They listed onto an exchange called T0, and T0, it's actually trading above the initial offering price and above net asset value. So we're going to have Robert Helms from the Real Estate Guys interviewing Stefan and going through the process of how Stefan did this. Because not only that, but he also just issued a legally compliant ICO to own real estate in Thailand as well. This guy is international. This guy is worldwide. And the really cool thing is that Robert Helms of the Real Estate Guys radio show is also international, also worldwide. And so you're going to get two giants in the industry just kind of talking about it. And the one additional thing that Robert probably never talks about, but he has built luxury resorts outside the United States. So he is very familiar with, the operations of hotels and things like that. So that is going to be a great discussion.
And how about, for those who either maybe can't attend or, travel is a little bit challenging right now. I know we want to encourage anyone from overseas to come and visit because, hey, America's open for business. But I guess give us an international picture of what that would look like if you're going to attend the event.
If you're going to attend the event, you're going to need to, so we've got people that are speakers at the event. We've got actually two people, or actually four people have signed up that are coming, traveling internationally. So you're going to have to do whatever the State Department says for your particular country. But the really cool thing is we wanted to open this up to a lot of people. So we are also doing an online, so that if you can't make it, we're encouraging, in person, because I'm telling you, last year I flew to Dubai just to get to an in-person conference because, there was nothing happening here in the United States. There's nothing like the chance meeting you get where you're, just happen to be getting coffee, or you just happen to be out in the hallway and talking to people. And it's like, boom, next thing you know, you've got a partnership, so we encourage in person. That's why we wanted to do this in person, but we also know that it's still a difficult travel environment out there. So we've added an online component. You're gonna have all the panels, you're gonna have all the speakers, you're gonna have access to all that. It's just not going to be the cocktail party or the networking component. But if you're interested in doing this, I would highly recommend either way. And I know Adam is, chomping at the bit to get out of Canada and into the United States to be the master of ceremonies and the voice of liberty for us there.
Yes, looking forward to it. This has been the longest stint of my life that I have not flown anywhere, I guess, well, in my professional career. So what better place to do it than the two industries that, if anyone here knows me, blockchain and real estate are both my favorite sectors to be in. So, and then on top of that, Michael's put me in a position to rock the stage. So I hope you guys like to have fun. I know I'm looking forward to that. As far as VIP tickets, because there's a VIP session. It's September 9th and 10th. Can you tell us a little bit about what to expect on the different days?
Okay, so with the VIP, you are not only going to get access to everything in the conference, but you're also going to get the networking cocktail party on Thursday, and then the full day on Friday. So you're going to get a lot of that with the executive. there is not the pre-event cocktail party. So it's a little less networking opportunity, but you're going to get all the same things. We really encourage, and I can't tell you enough about, I would recommend the cocktail party because it's just worth it. And right now, up until August 15th, we have a special where it's the early bird special of $100 off. And after that, and actually, once we hit a certain amount of tickets, the early bird special is not going to be around at all. So, we've been selling fast. I know you've been talking to a lot of your capital raising friends. I have people literally coming out of the woodwork, just big name people. They're saying, hey, what can we do to promote this? I want to go down there, or, Michael, I want to go down there. What's all involved? And I'm like, hey, go ahead and promote it, and we'll hook you up down there. So within the past 2 weeks, just massive amounts of people.
Can you tell us a little bit about Liberty Fund's role in this project? I know obviously we're a blockchain and real estate company as well. Kind of let us know what's the goal here for Liberty Fund.
The goal for Liberty Fund really is to educate people about how blockchain is going to change real estate. So Liberty Fund was started, back in 2019. The initial idea came at the end of 2017, early 2018. And for those of you that know anything about crypto, there was the crypto boom in 2017 and also the crypto bust. And there was all these, what are they called, initial coin offerings. And they were basically, some were scams, some, just didn't have any, program to them. And, there was a lot, and I kept saying, why wouldn't you do a initial coin offering or a stable coin based on real estate? Because real estate is the most stable, it's the most proven asset class in the world, bar none. I was just on, in kind of a Twitter fight the other day, and one of the guys said, well, Bitcoin is digital real estate. I'm like, no, real estate is real estate, and security tokens that own real estate is real estate. And while I love Bitcoin, if they shut off the power, and then the guy said, well, Bitcoin has a 12-year history of working. And I just said, real estate has a multiple of like 10,000 years of working. So we know that it's the original asset class. I don't know why they call it an alternative asset class. It's a marketing thing with the stock guys, because, why would you put your money into the stock market when you could put it into stable, tradable real estate? So that's what we wanted to do. We want to not only foster education for potential investors to invest in real estate, to generate wealth and create human flourishing, but we also want to create educational opportunities for real estate capital raisers, for debt issuers, for people in the real estate industry to say, this is going to be the new financial system, and I should learn about this, I should know about this, and I should attend this. So that's really what the goal of the event is.
Absolutely. And I think going back a little bit to as you mentioned, the cryptocurrency side of things, I think what a lot of individuals still haven't woken up to yet, and you can hopefully elaborate on this a little bit and let us know if we'll learn about this at all at the conference. But through the power of vehicles like security tokens, individuals who maybe have in the past 3-4 years made a lot of money in crypto, they're now going to have an opportunity to transfer that wealth into, as you said, tangible real estate assets if they so choose. And that's happening on, like, what exchanges is that taking place on right now where you can do something like that, like move your Ethereum or Bitcoin into a security token?
There are exchanges that'll do that. For example, Oasis Pro Markets, Pat Lavecchia is going to be talking at the conference, and they're an ATS, and they're actually going to trade not only all digital assets, well, I shouldn't say all digital assets, but they're going to be trading cryptocurrencies, and they're going to be trading security tokens. But the big thing that we see is that with blockchain, you can own your own assets and you can transfer value easily, instantaneously. So for example, right now, if I was going to send a wire transfer to somebody over in Europe, to somebody over in Africa, something like that, it could take up to 7 days for that wire transfer to happen, and that wire transfer might never come through. If I wanted to actually send USD stablecoin, which is a US dollar backed stablecoin, I could send that, and that transaction would go through in minutes. And so Adam up in the, north of Canada, I could send him USD right now, and he would have that, and there would be no intermediary like PayPal. There would be, taking all these extra fees. It would go through immediately with PayPal, and with any of these, transfer agencies, it's got to go through somebody. And so with this, it's like you directly own your assets, you control your assets, and you can transfer value. The other really cool thing that we really like about it is, especially like for our token, you can take your money in an ACH payment, which will deposit your monthly cash flow directly into your bank. But you could also take your monthly cash flow from your investment in our fund, and you could take it in a USD stablecoin or Ethereum. So then you have your money outside the banking system. You control your money. We also did an agreement with BlockFi where you can take your monthly cash flow, deposit it directly into BlockFi, and then if it's USD, you could get an extra 8% per month on your cash that's sitting in the BlockFi account, versus the same person invested the same amount of money in Liberty Fund getting, or a different person invested the same amount of money in Liberty Fund getting an ACH payment. They're actually paying the bank to have a deposit account. A Chase Bank right now, you have to pay $20 per month just to have the privilege of having an account. And then they're paying you less than 0.5%. So why wouldn't you do BlockFi? Plus you can get BlockFi cashback rewards where they give you Bitcoin back. So it's like, that's really the super cool thing. And this is just the tip of the iceberg as to what's going to happen. So you're going to get worldwide capital pools of people investing in real estate all over the world. So you're going to get more opportunities to invest in real estate all over the world. You're going to get people from investing from all over the world.
And I think, one of our good friends who we're going to be having here on the show soon too, Mr. MC Laubscher, and his show always talks about how we are in the middle of the greatest wealth transfer of our time. And it's hard to believe that that statement is false. You have to say that's true when you look at exactly what you're laying out here. And what's your what's your take on individuals who are kind of used to doing it the old school way? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that are saying, okay, that's great, but look, I'm not trying to innovate. I'm not trying to do anything new. I don't need to do it. I'm already taken care of. Do you think individuals like that are actually putting themselves at a disadvantage by not maybe giving an opportunity to adapt?
Well, first I'm going to talk about why we're doing the conference. And you hit on something that reminded me. If you are raising money in the future, like in 5 to 7 years, and you're not issuing security tokens and you don't know about this, all your investors are going to be demanding this technology. Because why would they do a normal private real estate investment with you, a private real estate syndication, and lock up their money for 5, 10? My mother got stuck in a real estate deal that my father did, and she was stuck in it for more than 36 years. She couldn't get her money out of it. So with this, you have the option as an investor that if you need to invest in something else, if you need to have a family event where you need the cash available, you can sell your tokens, or you can borrow against them, where we've also discussed with BlockFi and with a few other companies that they could place their security tokens as long as there's a net asset value that they understand, and they can borrow against them. You can't do that with normal private real estate. So for you people out there that are going to be buying properties and going to be syndicating partnerships and things like that, this is going to be a must-have technology that you're going to have to know about. And for the investor, there's a lot of investors that are scared of, something new. I don't understand this. The cryptocurrency seems to go up and down. It's like, this is a normal real estate private partnership. There's nothing different with it. And the other thing with the security token, it's regulated. And at this conference, we're going to have guys there and women, I'm sorry, we're going to have people, speakers there that are in the securities industry, in the legal industry, in the accounting industry, and they're going to talk about how all this stuff is legal and how you can be legally compliant. And if you're an investor, some of the things that you need to look for if somebody comes along and says, I'm doing a tokenization here, you want to like say, well, is it this, and this? Because if it's not that, it's not legal here, and I don't want to invest in it.
Absolutely. And what I'm hearing most there in that, and we might have to just go back and take that whole clip there and just put that as a separate episode or something. But the key here is being open to change, because the world is always changing. And in doing so, you can really give yourself an edge. Whether you're an investor, passive or active, you can give yourself a huge edge just by coming to this conference and getting to know, again, the pioneers in the space, Michael, yourself included. So is that a fair summary of kind of what
That
you're
is a
thinking?
fair summary. And again, we know and we see that the financial system as it is now is kind of creaky, kind of shaky. We don't know what bank has, a counterparty to somebody else that could bring, all the banking system down. So when people say, oh, I've got my money in a bank and I get my $200,000 guarantee, we don't know if that's going to be available next time. You're just taking it on the full faith and credit that the US government is next time going to backstop that. Okay. We know that the US government is printing money. So you, as an investor, need options to say, how do I get out of this inflationary cycle? How do I get out of this banking system? And how do I get options for myself so that I can diversify where I have my money? And the coolest thing, like I said, about blockchain and about, security tokens and about this is you control your own assets. You hold your own assets. You can do with it what you want. Okay. You can create extra income. You can trade them. You can do other things that you typically don't do because real estate is a really tough industry to break into and stuff. So if you can own a slice of that piece, whether it's one building or whether it's a piece of a fund, this is going to be revolutionary in that I always like to say, since 1990, billions of people have come out of abject poverty and into the middle class. And that is worldwide. Those people in the middle class are going to need a place to put their wealth. So when MC is talking about this, and when you, Adam, are talking about this, there is this giant wealth transfer that's going to happen with middle class people all over the world. And they need a place to park their money, to generate wealth, to preserve wealth, and protect them from inflation.
Wow. And the last thing I'm thinking about here is, and I'm sure you get this all the time, which is, oh, blockchain, like I just, it's too confusing. I don't understand it. And I love the analogy that you use with email. And again, I think this would be the perfect environment to go. If you do feel like you don't understand it, what better place to go than this first ever event of its kind? But could you use that email analogy that you use all the time as it kind of explaining?
Sure. So in the word blockchain is intimidating because it's like this technology and it's like people's brain shuts down. And I know because my brain automatically shuts down. And that's why we wanted to do a real estate event for real estate investors and not necessarily a technology event for technology people. We want to get it in plain language, but it's the same thing. It's like when email first came out, it is a method of sending communication from one person to another person directly. You didn't have to send it through the mail. You didn't have to take out an ad. You didn't have to do all kinds of things. It's direct person to person communication. Now, the key thing is, I'm sure Adam doesn't know what all the code is and what, SMPT, I think that's the thing, or TCP/IP, or everything else that that email is running about. All you know is that you type in your message, you press send, and you can even add an attachment, you know? So everybody knows that. It's the same thing with real estate and blockchain. Okay. Once you start doing a security token, it's going to be the same thing. It's issued there. If I want to transfer my value, so for example, if I want to like trade, with Adam and send him 10 shares of Liberty Fund, he agrees to the price. I put up my shares, boom, the value transfer goes immediately through. There's an interface there where you're not going to have to learn how to write code. It is all up there, and you're going to be able to do it from your phone.
And I'm thinking more and more, the time is now, meaning a lot of the individuals who will be at this conference, especially speakers, and I'd like for you to maybe elaborate a little bit more, Michael, on who it's for, whether it's passive or active investors. Sounds like both for sure. But the time is now, meaning maybe 3-4 years ago, this might not have been the best time to have a conference like this, but now we have case study after case study after case study and speakers that have actually been through this cycle of blockchain and real estate. So it's a really cool time that you can come and learn from pioneers and people who have actually done the thing and still be ahead of a lot of the competition, if you will, that's out there.
Oh, you're going to be way far ahead of the competition because there's so many people out there that don't know anything about this. And but there's also like the really big guys that are now getting into it. So Morgan Stanley just put a $50 million investment into Securitize, which is our securitization issuance platform that we're actually on and have launched our token through. There's all kinds of like large banks all over the world. There's all kinds of large financial institutions. And again, the SEC has, taken a look at this, weighed in on it, and promoted regulations that makes it so that you can issue security tokens. So this is going to be the future. So if you're interested in knowing how to do this, this is now the time, but it's still really early in the adoption process. So it's a blue ocean opportunity for somebody looking to get into the space.
Love it. Love it. And so again, as far as passive investors, active investors, who are you looking forward to networking with and meeting the most? And who's going to get the most out of being an attendee at this conference?
Well, we tried to set it up so that active capital raisers, active debt issuers, active people that are in buying, trading, selling real estate, creating partnerships, syndicating. We wanted those people to have a roadmap on how to do it. We also, put together some panels for passive investors to say, how do I analyze a deal like this? How do I, how does this operate? So we're looking at both passive and active investors. And we also brought in securities professionals. As I said before, we've got legal professionals, we've got accounting professionals. We've got everything you need to do in order to either invest in or put together a project on a security token. Plus, we've got some really cool blockchain real estate projects, people that are like tokenizing the equity in houses, people that are doing different debt issuances. We've got some people that are tokenizing oil and gas partnerships. So it's going to run the gamut of, what you can learn here, but we tried to just make it as inclusive as possible so that you just get a general overview of, what this is going to do.
And I really like the example that you used earlier about being at a live person event. And again, everyone, just so you know, there is a virtual aspect if you can't make it, but being able to rub shoulders and meet people face to face, and that next thing you know, boom, all of a sudden partnership is born. I think, again, what better place than here I'm just thinking of my own self, someone who likes to talk, right? Communication, this is my strength, this is my forte, this is the lane I intend and want to stay focused on. It'd be awesome to show up at this conference and meet someone like you, Michael, who's just insanely knowledgeable with blockchain and how it works, and be able to leverage my skills with theirs instead of just never even getting that opportunity in the first place. So
yeah, I can tell you, I mean, I within the past 3 weeks, there's been more than 5 different, experienced real estate sponsors and one oil and gas sponsor that said, I want to do this. How do I do this? And so not only have we had, phone calls and, tried to walk them through it, but it's like, just go to the blockchain real estate conference. There's going to be people there that you're going to meet. There's going to be, service providers there that you're going to meet. There's going to be sponsors there that are doing this very thing. And they're going to give you the pricing. They're going to give you how to do it. And they're going to give you a start to do it. And, it wasn't easy for us to do because there wasn't this roadmap. So that what we're trying to do is create a roadmap so that it's much easier for everybody else, because the key thing that I think needs to be done is more assets need to move onto the blockchain. And then it's going to be more proof of concept and everybody's going to say, I want to do this too.
And I'm happy you said that as well, because putting together a roadmap is certainly one thing we're doing every day here at Liberty Fund, and nothing but that, and with this conference. And then, could you just share with us real quick your story again into this space, because I think it's very powerful, guys. I know since getting to know Michael over the years now, he's someone who, even before the blockchain stuff, Michael, I'm going to go ahead and guess your age here, but I think Michael was about 57, and I'm 30. So I wouldn't be surprised to meet some other 30-year-olds like myself getting into this space and geeking out and learning all these things and talking about blockchain. Michael, at 57, is pioneering the space, which is insanely remarkable in my opinion. So can you just tell us about your journey? Because I know at the beginning you kind of, raised an eyebrow at blockchain as well. And then
so I continually get eyebrows raised at me when I say to tech guys, especially Pancham Gupta, who's going to be one of the speakers. And, I said, well, we're doing a security token. He's like, you're doing a security token? I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not a tech guy like you, but, we decided that this was the future. And then the other thing is I get a lot of people that are Adam's age that make fun of my age. Because it's like, you're doing this, how do you know about this? But I would say that it's hanging around really smart people. So, like 2014, 2013, there's people that I was going to conferences with, that I was meeting, that, are of a different mindset. They're really intelligent people. They're very wealthy people. And they kept talking about blockchain. They kept talking a little bit about Bitcoin, but a lot about blockchain. And I couldn't wrap my head around it because I was a real estate guy. But I knew that these really, really smart people that are smarter than I am, that know which way the wind is going, if they keep talking about it, then I should look into it. So that's when I did start looking into it. And as I said, it just kind of snowballed. One of the benefits of working with Adam is that Adam has this international network, and the people in Adam's network might not be as wealthy as some of the people in my network, but they're really insanely far thinking. So one of them was so far thinking that he just decided to start a country and put it on blockchain. So, Adam's involved with Liberland, which is a startup country, started up 6 years ago, and the entire country is being built on blockchain from the ground up. And so one of the discussions I had with the president, Vit, of in Bogey, the vice president of Liberland, was, well, if you could put a country on the blockchain, it should be relatively easy to put a real estate fund on the blockchain.
And there it is. Liberty Fund was born, and later Liberty Fund's baby, the Blockchain Real Estate Summit, came. So Michael, this has been a great conversation. I kind of feel like we could probably go for a little bit longer here, but we'll go ahead and wind it down for the sake of our viewers, so they can go check out the website and get more information there. So the blockchainrealestatesummit.com, or
Get
blockchain
your tickets.
Get your tickets. Yeah. Any other, I'm just trying to think of any other details that we may have left out. I know we mentioned the list of speakers. Actually, could we go through the list of speakers again one more time?
The list of speakers are many. Stefan Debates, who issued Aspen Coin, Jason Ricks, who's the COO of Liberty Fund, Robert Helms of the Real Estate Guys, James Rowe, of Entoro, Tom Burns, who is a personal friend of Robert Kiyosaki and has written, he's a renowned real estate investor, written several books, and he was also a surgeon for the U.S. Olympic ski team. Pat Lavecchia, co-chairman of Oasis Pro Markets, Jen Katsev. She's a performance coach. She's a serial entrepreneur, and she's a passive real estate investor, doing some great stuff. Baxter Hines, who is CIO of Honeycomb Digital Investments. They are investing in all digital assets. So they're not only investing in cryptocurrencies, but they're also investing in security tokens. And he is known for being one of the lead investors in Spencer Dinwiddie's security token. Spencer Dinwiddie, I think he's still on the Nets, right?
I believe so. Actually, I'm not sure exactly where he's at, but one of the first NBA players to put their contract.
Right. And so there's all these NBA players that are out there and all interested not only in cryptocurrency and being paid in cryptocurrency, but also, what they can do, what they can invest in. So those guys are pretty forward thinking. We've got Steve Baum from Friedman. He's going to talk to us about regulations. Tyler Hartraff, who is, a renowned securities attorney. We've got two gentlemen from the Black Manta Group. So it's Brian Elders, who's out of Ireland, and also Alex Rapatz. They're not only be talking about how to issue securities in Europe, but also European regulation. We've got Michael Carpentier with Vesta Equity. He's also a Canadian, like Adam, and they're tokenizing the equity in houses. Ben Suttles of Disrupt Equity, Pancham Gupta. There's a few others that I'm forgetting right now, but we're going to have more than 40 speakers for Victor Viktorov, CEO of Rayano. They're doing debt and also equity on the blockchain. And we are hoping to get some of the guys from Realty, who are the real pioneers of tokenizing houses. They've been tokenizing house investments probably for the last 2 or 3 years. And really, hoping to get those guys and a few other really well-known service providers, marketing people, and everything to explain how to not only when you can issue the security, you did everything legally and all the rest of that, but how do you market it so that people see your offering?
Love it. And so Blockchain Real Estate Summit, ladies and gentlemen, that's where you can go. blockchainrealestatesummit.com. Sorry, I didn't say .com. Michael, can you give us a quick update on tickets? Because I know we've got some early bird pricing and then the regular prices, VIP, online. Kind of just run us through pricing real quick.
Oh, sure. So the VIP tickets are I think they're $449. So they're $449. Right now with the early bird, it's $100 off. So you can get in there for $349. With the executive level, it's $399. So that's still in person, and you can get that for $299. And then the online event right now, you can get in for $299. So it's a $399 deal after August 15th, but right now you can get it for $299. And then if you go and look at any of our social media channels, if you want to try this, I know that Adam Carswell is known for his giveaways. So he's going to be giving away a few tickets. There's a few other people that are speaking that are going to be giving away a few tickets. And then the other really cool thing is a good friend of Adam's is going to create one or maybe a few NFTs that we're going to be giving away for the event. So
that's right. Yep. So guys, go ahead and you can follow me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you can. I'm out there. I'm out there. And as Michael said, we're doing giveaways. So that's why.
Yeah. So you could go to any of the Liberty Fund real estate channels and anything like that too.
Yes, the Liberty Fund channels as well. blockchainrealestatesummit.com. Most importantly, I'm going to say it again, blockchainrealestatesummit.com. Go ahead and check it out. Michael, thank you so much for hanging out with me here today. Always a pleasure. Great episode. Any closing remarks for our audience?
I just thank you for your time, and blockchainrealestatesummit.com. Come visit us. I'm looking forward. If you do come, be more than happy to talk with you. Love to see you in person. If you're interested in learning more about Liberty Real Estate Fund, go to libertyfund.io.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you there in Austin, Texas, September 9th and 10th. If you got to attend virtually, understand we can see you there too, but hopefully in person. My name is Adam Carswell. That's Michael Flight. This is the Nothing But Net podcast, the podcast for triple net commercial real estate investing. Thank you for spending your most valuable resource with us here today, your time, and we will catch you in the next episode.